Dr. Shabir, welcome to Let the Quran Speak.
Pleasure to be on.
We're looking at misunderstood verses of the Quran, Dr. Shabir, and the verse we have now is from chapter 2. It's verse 282, and it talks about witnesses. So it says, "And if there aren't two men, then one man and two women whose testimony you will be confident about, such that if one of the women should err, the other woman will remind her." So tell us a little bit about this verse, Dr. Shabir.
Yeah, so this is called Ayatul Dain, the verse about lending. And it's the longest verse in the Quran, curiously. It's a matter of trivia. Verse 282.
How long is it?
Oh, it fills a whole page. Whereas if you think of a short surah of the Quran like Qul Allahu Ahad, you can have like 3 of those, including the Basmala, that will fill a page. Now, within this verse, you have a stipulation about the loan you're writing. God says, write down the loan contract so that people don't forget later on and there are misunderstandings and so on. And then it should be witnessed. The verse says, وَاسْتَشْهِدُوا شَهِدَيْنِ مِنْ رِجَالِكُمْ, and call upon 2 men among you to be witnesses to this transaction. فَإِنْ لَمْ يَكُونَا رَجُلَيْنِ فَرَجُلٌ وَامْرَأَتَانِ مِمَّنْ تَرْضَوْنَ مِنَ الشُّهَدَاءِ أَنْ تَدِلَّ إِحْدَاهُمَا فَتُذَكِّرَ إِحْدَاهُمَا الْأُخْرَى. If there are not 2 men, then 1 man and 2 women will suffice, so that if one of the women should forget or err, then the other will remind her. And then it concludes by saying about the witnesses, وَلَا يَأْبَ الشُّهَدَاءُ إِذَا مَا دُعُوا. Let not the witnesses demur in case they are being called upon. Now, this verse basically is saying, in a nutshell, for our purposes now, you get 2 men to witness the transaction. If there are not 2 men, then get 1 man and 2 women. Classical commentators on the Quran have sometimes interpreted this to mean, in a general way, that the witness of 1 man is equal to the witness of 2 women. But that's wrong. You cannot take this in such a general way, because there are other instances, for example, in the Quran, in the 24th chapter, where the matter of an accusation of a man against his wife is brought to the court. He will testify 5 times that he's telling the truth, but then she, to repel his testimony, would testify 5 times. And then once she has testified, then the matter is left at a standstill, and the judge will separate the couple, because now it's been the accusation of infidelity in particular is a severe one to have the couple live with this being unsettled. But it does mean that the woman's witness was in a way equal to the man's witness, so that she could repel his or rebut his testimony like this. And more generally in Islamic law, it is known that there are some issues which are more particular to women, which women will be more savvy about, and their witness is not only equal to, but even better than the witness of a man, because they will be like theirs would be expert testimony on that particular matter.
Like what matters?
Like matters pertaining to women's, let's say women's periods, for example, to be more specific. But it could be more general, issues more generally with relating to pregnancy and so on. A case in point is that Umar radiallahu anh, the companion of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, second caliph of Islam, I say radiallahu anh, which means God be pleased with him, is known to have asked a woman, like, how long could a woman, be expected to wait for her husband who has gone off in the army? And she said 4 months. And so he gave a verdict based on that anyone who has been away for 4 months or more should be recalled to their homes. So he took the testimony just simply of one woman, because this is the matter that pertains to women in particular, right? Is how women feel about a situation like that. Now, coming back to the verse about this transaction, now enemies of Islam would want to say, well, wait a minute, your Quran is backward or something like this, because look, it's saying you need 2 women in the place of 1 man. So you had 2 men to witness, but if not 2 men, then 1 man and 2 women. means that two women are standing in the place of the one man. Why do you need two women? So we should say that this is not something against women in a biased way. It just has to do with the circumstances at the time. Because remember the verse, that's the part of the verse that I recited that says, let not the witnesses demur when they're being called upon to witness. It would mean that when the witnesses are being summoned, they would have to leave whatever they're doing and come forward. It's a social responsibility. And in that time and era, it would have been easier for men to leave what they're doing and come. But a woman may be with her baby and so on. It might be more difficult. To be in the legal setting where you're giving witnesses and counter arguments and objection and questioning the witnesses and so on, women at that time probably felt relieved that they were not being called upon to be witnesses. Moreover, in the case of transactions and monetary issues and so on, perhaps the women at that time were not as so much schooled as we are in our present times in all affairs, where, in the present time, a woman can be president of a country and prime minister of a country. But that was more rare at that time. So it's seeing the whole situation, it seems balanced that you have two women so that one of them will give the witness. But if indeed she needs a social support from her sister, then the other woman is there to back her up and give her confidence that, okay, don't let them intimidate you. We both know what we witnessed and you're speaking the truth. I'm with you. If they question you, I'm here as your backup. So that seems to be the whole spirit of the verse. It's not to establish that for all time and all places that you need two women to be in the place of one man.
Mm-hmm. So hypothetically, it could be the case that a single woman could serve as a witness then.
Yes, the important thing for the qadi or for the judge is to reach a reasonable level of certainty with regards to what is being witnessed about. So whether that witness comes from one person, two persons, whether you need several persons, as in the case of sighting the moon for the start of Ramadan, according to the Hanafi school, then it's whatever would give certainty to the judge at the time. So if the judge has a reasonable basis for taking the witness of one person, whether it be a man or a woman, then that would suffice for the case. Or it could be DNA evidence or some other modern types of evidence that would be advanced, not necessarily the witness of an individual. Or in modern times, we have good written records that could hardly be forged. So that too would serve as, good evidence. You wouldn't need like a person giving testimony that they witnessed this at the time.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Thank you, Dr. Shabir.
You're welcome.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Muslim Media Hub, the new home of Let the Quran Speak.
Here we spread positivity and good. We help people experience the beauty of Islam and help them appreciate and understand Muslims.
This beautiful building we purchased, Dad, cost $2.3 million.
Yeah, we've already raised a third of that money, and with your help, inshallah, we can pay off the rest.
So we're looking for people who can give $1,000 each. If you can be part of the select group, that's amazing.
Otherwise, just please give whatever you can. Every dollar counts.
It's our collective responsibility to share the message of Islam with our fellow human beings. Please help us continue this good work.
It's a sadaqah jariyah, something that will continue to be a benefit to the Muslim community long after Safiya and I are gone.
Please support our work at muslimmediahub.com.
Your support is zakat eligible and tax deductible.
May Allah bless you and your loved ones today and always. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.